Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. I hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far, and it would not be a controversial statement to say the Call of Duty Vanguard is not exactly the favourite game of these professional players in the Call of Duty side. Shotzzy is usually a player that keeps his cool. He's usually got his head pretty well screwed on in terms of this stuff, but he's certainly been losing full these last few days about the state of Vanguard, talking about his frustrations with the game, but also Scump describing how the skill gap in this title is one of the lowest it has ever been. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hitting the like button is the best thing you can do. Top this channel recently, people. Please do subscribe as well if you have not yet already. First of all, this one Bobby plays right about the new Crimsix skin coming to COD Mobile. I can kind of see it, to be honest. I think it was kind of funny really what Crim had to say in the replies. Now that's actually censored whenever he pulls the jet skis out. Not really sure this looks too much like Doug Center Martin. I guess he's kind of got the guns going on here, but I mean, yeah, who knows? Center and Crimsix could be, they've certainly been backing each other up as of late, especially Crimsix when Center was rumored to potentially get a 12th spot on the team, like or the 12th spot in the CDL. Crim was kind of like, you know, he was backing his boy Doug Center Martin. This also from Crimsix, right? Because none other than Doug a couple of weeks ago was discussing, you know, when we talked about content, right? It's time to get some content out there, pushing out some TikToks, all this type of stuff. And Crim is, well, he started a TikTok. So, you know, I don't have TikTok. I'm not really looking at it, but still, I'm sure there could be some entertaining stuff going down on Crimsix's TikToks. Like, this guy comes up with some unbelievable stuff. Even the profile pictures are already getting me excited for some of the content this guy might come out with. This also from Crimsix as well. You already know the pose. We, of course, saw a very similar pose, that being this one, right? And I guess this is stage 4, stage 5 major, whatever it is. Like, it just cracks me up still looking at this. But, yeah, he's got a new trim. It's absolutely fantastic scenes, and he's looking ready to go for the new season, I suppose. I'm not really sure if this is New York's content. I'm guessing it is, or whether it's the CDL doing something. You'd think if they were going to do CDL pictures or whatever, like, a media day, I guess, they might do that, like, the day before the Kickoff Classic, and to get all the new pictures and stuff in line. So maybe New York are up to something, or maybe this is the CDL up to something, but, yeah, definitely Crimsix is getting ready for the upcoming season. What an absolute unit right here. Built like a tree trunk, I'm pretty sure Trey said in the reply. Some, you know, entertaining stuff, you can't deny it. This also from Crimsix, right? Because we talked about the whole, the whole Simp situation yesterday with the Twitter donations and stuff. And, you know, Crimsix had a few words to him, right? And it was kind of interesting, actually, what he said towards the end of this clip, just because he was talking about Tim the Tapman and what him and Tim the Tapman have in common. And he was basically saying, you know, me and him both saved Complexity. Because, of course, Crimsix was on Complexity back in the day and, well, of course, had some great success on that organization. But also what he says here, you know, word to FaZe Frodo, right, to calling him Frodo. And also, you know, sometime after I might activate my Twitter donation, so maybe going down a similar route to, well, what Simp is doing the last couple of days. But yeah, Crim, the entertainment on the timeline, it simply does not know when to stop with this guy. But let's talk about what Shotzzy was on about last night. So he was, of course, playing some pubs, then playing some mates. And look, the scrims go down, the pro teams play the scrims. Right now, we well know that there's a lot of frustrations from the pros, the fact that they're effectively playing 2 sets of hardpoint scrims. They play all the hardpoints, then they play them again on the other side with the other team they're playing against, because there really isn't all that much else to be playing right now, because control, it seems to be pretty broken. Shotzzy is a player that usually, like, so far in this game, he's been relatively upbeat. He's saying, okay, it might not be my favorite game, like the spawns aren't great, kind of difficult to predict, but still, he's getting on, he's playing it, he's generally seeming to be having a good time compared to some of the other guys. But it may start to be taking its toll at this point, and who can really blame him, right? Like, if you're playing this game a lot of the day, it's difficult to keep your sanity, I imagine, especially playing all the hardpoint maps. Then you've played them once, then you got to play them again. Like, that just seems incredibly frustrating. So Shotzzy's like, look, please, just even if control is broken, he'd actually rather play that against the other pro teams than, even if it's going to be completely different and they do change things in an update, which may or may not happen, right? But if that does happen, then, well, anyway, he still preferred to play that rather than play the 2 sets of hardpoint scrims, or just play 1 set of hardpoint scrims and get out of there, right? Because he's getting really frustrated playing it. You can't blame him, of course, but it just feels like if Shotzzy's feeling this, the other players are certainly feeling it.
Dude, I'm not trying to play the same... Dude, the same 4 maps against the same team twice? Like, bro, I'm not trying to do that, like, the entire year, bro. That sounds like... Like, dude, I'm just... Bro, I don't give a damn, dude. Even if it control... Like, bro, I'm down to play control even if I'm spawning on the other like the other side, bro. Like, it's gotten to that point, dude. I don't want to keep playing this shit, dude. I'm just gonna be honest, bro. Like, if it gets that, if control doesn't work, dude, I'm not playing 2 rotations, bro. Like, bro, I'm down to play the first rotation of our HPs and then go hop on Warzone and play like a battle royale for the 3rd set.
So of course we talked a couple of days ago that Scump was really positive about the future and the potential of this Optic Texas team, but he's also not particularly convinced that the state of this game is the best it possibly could be. There's always talk every single year, it seems, about the skill gap within the game, whether whether the best pro teams are going to consistently beat the worst pro teams and all that type of stuff. And well, Scump has a few thoughts about it on the Optic podcast a couple of days ago, reckoning that because the time to kill in this game is just so quick, it effectively means that the skill gap is one of the lowest it has ever been.
I always like the idea of like AM teams having a chance to play against the worst pro teams, you know, just like at events, just having the bottom 4 play like the top 4 AM teams.
Yeah.
Because then that provides like, that's like a hype ass match, you know, like if a pro team loses that, it's like, damn, okay, what's going on there? You know?
Well, there's a lot of talent in amateur too, and especially with how COD is now, like amateur teams can beat pro teams. Like this game has like it's a very minimal skill gap. You're killing 3 bullets. Like they could definitely compete.
Definitely.
Just because it's not even everyone can shoot straight and you die in 3 bullets. Like you could steal maps off better teams.
See, as in
this game, and it just gives them an incentive to like grind and
exactly. There shouldn't be people sitting on paychecks knowing they're going to get paid regardless.
Like
for
right now,
that's not how it should be. Like
right now, amateur players are literally sitting there not getting paid, like just grinding and
just
for what?
Scratching at the door. They're scratching at the door, like, dude, please just let us in.
And from a business perspective, it incentivizes orgs to pick up those AM teams because now, guess what? They can sell those players to the CDL teams, right? Now there's actual somewhat of a business there. When you're supporting these players, you can sell a good player into the CDL.
Boom.
They're playing in hopes that
we just made it right there.
They're playing in hopes that like the 4 spots that open up a year, they're one of them.
Now this is a point that is brought up every single year, and that's why a lot of people say, look, we need to get back to a jetpack Call of Duty where the skill gap in terms of skill and gun skill and movement skill and this type of stuff actually matters, right, as Dashy's kind of describing right here. But still, there has been some talk in the most recent couple of games. Okay, hang on a second, is the skill gap actually that high? If you put an amateur team up against a pro team, how well are they going to do? Could they actually beat them? Right, as Scump saying, look, if you put an amateur team in the CDL, like maybe they could do something pretty good, at least maybe not beat the teams all the time, but just reckons the skill gap's actually pretty low because you don't have to hit that many bullets in a row to kill someone. At the same time, there's always kind of, okay, maybe individual gun skill, not that much of a skill gap, but in terms of movement and positioning and making sure you do actually are the first person to land the bullets, and also team play and stuff, that also does add some things in, and it's something that's been discussed for years. Every single year, I swear that the pros say that this game has no skill gap, and they said the same thing the previous year. Like, for example, Clayster in 2021, online plus skill gap in this game, anyone can win, he reckons. That's back in March in Cold War, and a lot of people said that, like, Modern Warfare had the lowest skill gap ever, and then even Clayster saying Cold War had the lowest skill gap, but I reckon a lot of people looking back would say, okay, time to kill wasn't that quick. Like, obviously online doesn't help either, but it is an interesting conversation. I also managed to find this tweet from way back in 2013 from Scump, where he talks about the skill gap in 2013, which of course was when Black Ops 2 was being played on a competitive level, and so he said right here, considering there was a non-existent skill gap in this game, we need all the playing time possible. Not sure what the tweet was he replied to, but we can see that Scump in 2013 was describing Black Ops 2 as having no skill gap, whereas I'm sure nowadays people would say, okay, Black Ops 2, like, pretty good skill gap game, but then again, if you look at Black Ops 2, you killed very quick in that game as well. It was the time to kill was very fast indeed with some of the weapons in that game. The M8A1, for example, would kill in 3 bullets at point blank range, and the MSMC, and they were pretty much all 3-shot weapons. Maybe some of the skill gap came through with how you play with your team and all this type of stuff as well. So always an interesting one. I think Scump probably has a fair point, right, that generally the games over the last few years have trended more to favor casual players and made it so easy to kill people because, you just kill them immediately. You're basically playing hardcore mode, it feels like. But and that probably makes it easier for newer players, right, to pick up the controller for the first time and to get a kill because they only need to hit like 3 bullets to kill the guy, which is frustrating. Cold War kind of went away from that a little bit, but still, it's kind of something that's been said for years in Call of Duty. But I definitely think that the last few years haven't been particularly helpful for the skill gap, but at the same time, it might not be quite as bad as we might expect. Last year, for example, FaZe were 34-7 or whatever they were at the end of the year, and it was clearly a skill gap to some degree in last year's game. You'd think there will still be a skill gap to some degree in this year's game. FaZe are probably going to beat Paris more than Paris are going to beat FaZe. But I think Scump is probably making a fair and reasonable point. This also, just to mention to finish out the video, a great clip that Stephen pointed out to me, so thanks very much indeed for that one. That well, of course, a few weeks ago, really, we talked about the fact that Tim the Tatman was saying, okay, look, Cole, we want them to join the CDL, and but now Tim the Tatman's probably looking right at the state of the CDL, as in this clip that I'm just going to share for you guys as we round out the video, kind of frustrated with the state of the league, the fact that they're kind of falling significantly short of where he would expect them to be, and despite how he wants the CDL to succeed, thinks that that's huge potential, and I'm sure wants Complexity, his organization, to get into the league, like he probably can't actually justify that, right, based on how things have gone so far, and that's really frustrating, right? Because you look at the 2018 World Championship, all these organizations that were involved, and I'm sure a lot of these guys, like, you know, the likes of Cloud9, right? So Cloud9 actually weren't here at the time, but they were in previous World Championships, and, you know, 2017, for example, they had a pretty good result there. But a lot of these organizations might be too business savvy, frankly, and esports savvy to actually invest in the CDL going forwards. It's maybe more likely to be the organizations like the Craft Ownership Group and kind of some of the Overwatch owners and the big like VC type groups that are going to come in and get a CDL spot rather than the kind of grassroots organizations, because maybe they realize that the CDL might not be their best investment, right? Because of course we'd love to get a lot of these organizations back in Call of Duty, but the fact of the matter is it might be unlikely to happen, especially with what Tim the Tap Man has to say here. But very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hitting a like button tells the YouTube god this is a good video. I'd just like you to see it as well, and help grow the competitive Call of Duty community. Thanks for watching as always. Take care, and I will see you next time.
Dude, they're dropping the ball on CDL so hard, and I feel so bad for a lot of the COD pros, man. I know a ton of these COD pros, bro. And to see, like, in my opinion, like CDL and Call of Duty League is this thing where they have this golden egg, like Call of Duty, competitive Call of Duty, years and years and years ago. I'm talking, bro, I mean, I went to MLG Columbus and I saw Complexity, I think it was, because it was Aches. Yeah, I think it was Aches, Crim, and Teep and all them, and I think they were playing against Optic, actually, I think. And I think back to that in those days and how far ahead of the competitive esports curve CDL was and Call of Duty League was. And to see where it is now it's just sad, bro. It really is sad. CDL had potential, in my opinion, to be the largest gaming esport in the world, hands down. And I don't know if it's they don't care or what it is. Maybe they want to get away from it. I don't know. Maybe they're focusing more just on Warzone in general. But if that's what they're doing, they got to tell these COD pros that, bro. You know what I mean? Because a lot of these COD pros make a living off all that stuff, man.